Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi to our respected guests today. First of all, I want to say thank you to both of you for allocating your time on our discussion. With me today is Economic Analyzer Mohammad Aizuddin and Dr. Nasrul Aidid from the Hospital of Kuala Lumpur. How are you both doing today?
Good, good.
Doing well? Great. Now, the talk is about how COVID 19 can give an effect to our country, government, and people. First, I want to ask to Dr. Nasrul Aidid, based on this pandemic, how can COVID 19 give the effect to the people first or to the human body? Okay, Dr. Nasrul.
Okay, thank you for interviewing. Okay, as you know, COVID-19 is the new and the most dangerous disease right now. COVID-19 gives an effect not only to the adult, but it is also gives an impact to a kid. As we all know, the disease is easily spread. Not only that, it is also gives a huge impact to life of the people. People that from this virus, especially to the old people who having a chronic illness. This virus lives longer than any virus that has been found. This pandemic has been used a big effect in treatment history. Doctor and nurse work hard to give a life to the people. As a doctor, this coronavirus is very dangerous. People can't do exactly things that they do every day like before. They need to make a new normal or take a new initiative to prevent from the coronavirus. Okay, let me tell you why. This effect of this coronavirus is very worse to the human body. Patient with this virus infection will feel sick sore throat. After 2 to 7 days, the patient will experiencing a dry cough. Besides, they will also experience a fever that is very high temperature and shivering all over the body. By breathing through the patient body will face difficulties as the outset and majority led to death. On my experience, I have asked my patient what they feel when they infect with this coronavirus. They say it is the worst fever they ever felt. That's why I'm very worried if this is to a kid or to an old people who are having a chronic illness. Either they don't have a strong antibody to withstand them from the virus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your explanation, Dr. Nasrul. Now, we can change to Mr. Aizuddin as our economic analyzer guest today. So, Mr. Aizuddin, what do you think of this pandemic make an impact to the country, particularly in economic? Okay, Mr. Aizuddin.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me today. So, when the lockdown is announced, every people in this country can go out make their things. People that don't make a salary with a government have to struggle with their expenses. Not only our country impressed with this pandemic, but it is also impressed to the country all over the world. For example, after the order of MCO by the Malaysian government, all borders are forced closed. Malaysia has lost visitors who can provide an income to the country as well as to the flight system. For your information, fight system is the most economic driver of the country, which has made the most income to our country. Based on my research, the economy of our country decreased by 53%. The tourism economy sector most impressed by this pandemic, which has led down to about 47%. This is very huge economy downturn, but I think it is not only Malaysia, but I think it's all over country over the world facing the same problem.
Okay, and what about the impact to the government?
As you both know, this pandemic makes things go complicated. Like Dr. Nasrul has said, when the lockdown is active in order to prevent from this spread widely, people need to stay at home. So when they stay at home, they can't make their profits. Government have to find a solution to recover their profits. You know, when the government bringing help such as money transferring to the citizen, indirectly, the country has lost a lot of profits. Every country has a debt to pay, so as well Malaysia. From the results of my research as well, after the MCO, government had to deploy all agencies to protect this country. This has led government to bring out national income to be channeled to the frontliners. Frontliners leave family and their loved one to serve the country. Government need to play an important role and makes things easy for both people and country. Sometimes I feel sad to those people who are in trouble to find a living money when this pandemic is occurred. But what else do you want to do? Either do you want to protect yourself, your family, your children, or do you want to lose them all? That's it.
Okay, as a moderator, I do not know or I can predict what is going to happen if you both does give your opinion and explanation. But for me, I think we need to keep ourselves and always remember those who we love. Alright, Dr. Nasrul, you just said that this COVID-19 infect to all kind of generation. So I want to ask you, what will happen to the baby if COVID-19 infect them? Okay, Dr. Nasrul?
Okay. Baby and children is included in the group of high risk people. High risk people. This is because they don't have a strong antibody comparing to a teenager or the middle age. We as doctor doesn't want this thing happen to a baby or to a children. We believe that if this happen, the death toll will rise. Some goes for people with chronic disease. However, together we can keep this pandemic, COVID-19, if we practice a new normal, such as always wash our hands, wear a hand sanitizer, wear a mask, and keep the social distancing.
Pardon me, Dr. Nasrul. Sorry to interrupt your talk, but I want to ask you, what about the protection of clothing and equipment that used mainly by nurses and doctors? Is it the hospital had to withdraw their funds to supply to their frontliners?
Okay, for your information, Mr. Aizuddin, about the PPE. We have been China PPE from various non-government agencies. We have helped to some extent related to protection tools such as gloves, face mask, protection suit, and sanitizer. So far, we as frontliner are very grateful that our equipment. It is in sufficient quantity.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, wow. Thank you very much for both of you for your explanation. Now we have come to the end. I think that's all for this season. Thank you again for taking your time and joining our season today, Dr. Nasrul and Mr. Aizuddin. Your both opinion and explanation are so knowledgeable. I hope we can have a season like this which you both again, and I hope every people is in this country can protect themselves and their love on from this pandemic and autism with the new normal life. Okay, thank you.